Hello and welcome back to another Writerly Witterings with me, Michael Jex, the tea drinking author, who's currently got a bit of a lump on his lap. But we will try to continue with a sensible video. Tea drinking author with, this time, a cup of tea. That's good. No, I think this is impossible. Even with a beautiful little black nose like this one. Back in a moment. So, what have I got for you today? Having disposed of one hound. Well, first thing I've got to say is two things. I am enormously enjoying this little 0.2mm Platinum Preppy, which is, okay, it's definitely not the most expensive pen I've ever had, but it's deeply appreciated. Thank you, Chris, for sending it to me, because it uses Platinum's carbon black ink, which is just wonderfully waterproof. It's ideal for sketching with this very fine nib. It replaces all of the damn silly disposable pens like this very nice Uni pen. Very nice. I do like it. It replaces Tombow pens and Derwents and various others. It's actually just a wonderful pen. I've got to apologise, there's two dogs having a fight on my window seat trying to decide who's going to stay there. Oh, looks like they're stopping for a minute. The other thing I've got to admit to really enjoying is this, the Bastion pen. I reviewed this some time ago. After last week's little video, or was it the week before, when I was reviewing Scabiosa from Rohrer und Klingner, I decided, it's such a nice ink, I've got to use it a bit more, so I put it in this. And I've been using it all week. Now, this is a quick word of warning. Some people have told me that if you leave this in a fountain pen that has gilt on the nib, so something like, for example, he says, quickly reaching behind him, something like a Kaveco with the gold coloured nib, there you go, goldish coloured nib, then the Scabiosa, if you leave it in there and don't use it and don't rinse it out regularly, it's likely to delaminate the gold paint, whatever it is that's on the nib, from the stainless steel underneath. With the stainless steel nib, I'm far less bothered, and certainly it hasn't had any impact on this rather wonderful Bastion pen. Why is it wonderful? I just love the fact that it looks like an absolutely solid pen. You can't see the join until you start to unscrew it, and then all of a sudden you can find a nib and things. But it is a remarkably comfortable, nice pen to use, and with this ink it just glows. Briefly, what else have I got? Well, I'm currently using a bit of Diamine's Earl Grey in my TWSBI swipe because that's a nice ink. I'm also using a little bit of Writer's Blood in this nice old Pilot, which is a wonderful pen. And I'm just finishing up, as you can tell, my last fill of blue black in my Visconti. Next week I will have another pen to talk about because Conway Stewart are sending me a very delightful celebration of the Great Western Railway and Brunel, and that's going to be here very shortly, I believe. But today it hasn't arrived, so instead I'm going to talk a little bit about this, because this really is one of my favourite inks of the last I don't know what. It is Dusk. It's a limited edition. It's made by those very delightful people at Dominant Industry, and this is a collaboration between them and Cult Pens. As you can see, it is definitely one of those inks that falls into the category of shimmering. Not just shimmering though, this gives the most fabulous glitter. It's a pale grey. I've got a Ridgeback now staring up at me. Go away, hound. It's a pale grey, tending towards the blue shade, which you might just be able to see there. Don't know, but it looks vaguely blue to me. But it is just a wonderful ink to use. I've been using it quite a bit. Not enough, because there's still a lot of ink left in this bottle. This, of course, is when I discover I have no blotting paper to hand to tidy up. But never mind, I will proceed nonetheless. So, as usual, performing my ink tests, I have a TWSBI Go with a 1.1mm stub nib. Why? Because it's quick to refill. The fatness of the stub nib means I can demonstrate quite nicely any sort of shading that comes out with the ink. And I'm also using a Goulet Pens Cahier, which uses 62 GSM Tomo River paper. Why? Because that means that all of my reviews are consistent. They're using the same paper and they're using the same pen and nib. TWSBI Go is a brilliant little pen because all you have to do is press the plunger down, put it in your ink, release the plunger, and it fills it. That quick and easy. And I'll demonstrate. Ink bottle, pen. Pen goes into the ink, release the plunger, and it sucks up a little bit of ink. I'm not going to do more than that because, actually, yes, I am. Not terribly easy trying to fill a pen at a height, as it were, from behind, as it were. So, I now have a bottle of ink nicely filled. Get a little bit of kitchen towel here by reaching into my pack of sketchbook materials for when I'm out and about painting. If I can get it. I think I might have to empty some stuff out of here so I can pull it out. Come on, flaming paper. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be as quick as I can. Ah, got it. Right. Paper. Good. The trials and tribulations of trying to make a video, especially when you've got a ridgeback deciding to plant herself underneath your legs under your desk. She's a sweet, affectionate old pooch and a bit gormless on occasion. Here we go. Right. So just cleaning off the nib a bit because it was rather manky. So here we have a delightful pen. Let's see what it looks like when used to write. So if I show you now, there's some ink. Isn't that pretty? Very unimpressive in this light, however. But as soon as you get it near daylight, it is incredibly glittery and quite beautiful. Glitter particles are all silver, not gold, which I think just enhances the appearance, but that's just a personal view. I think that the silver goes very well with this sort of blue-grey colouring. Well, hopefully you could see that. It's not always terribly easy to show off glitter when you're looking at different pen inks, but that one really is one of my favourite glittery inks of all types. It is really smooth flowing. It gives lovely shading when you're writing. So you can see the difference there in the D and various other letters, where the D, for example, has a very thick downstroke, nice pale round upstroke. You can see here how you get really dark shading, and then in the top of the loop it goes pale again. Really lovely shading. Now, not everybody likes shading, I know. I do. I think shading is one of the most attractive aspects of any ink, so I'm very happy with this. And it is, I would say, one of my favourite inks. And I do mean absolute favourite inks. This is something I can use full-time for writing at home, but it's ideal for birthday cards, Christmas cards, all sorts. It just works enormously well. So there you have it. Now, if you enjoyed this and you like my videos generally, don't forget, please go down and hit the like button, because I get thousands of people watching these videos and then 10 or 15 bother to hit the like button. And it doesn't take long to do, but it does mean that there's a certain appreciation within YouTube, and therefore my videos are more likely to get presented to more people, which makes life even better for me. So carry on and subscribe and hit the bell button and all that lot, you know the things. If you care to buy me a coffee, well, I'll be very grateful. There's a buy me a coffee link at the bottom and all those good things, because life as an author generally, it's really odd. I was doing a calculation. In the past, when paperbacks cost just under £6 each, I would earn 42p per sale. Now that paperbacks cost about £9 each, my income is... So paperbacks have increased by 50% in price. The author income has reduced by 3/4. I now get about 11p per sale. There's logic for you. But obviously it's because there's no inflation in prices or anything else for authors that we have to cope with. Never mind that. So if you want to buy me a coffee, it would be gratefully received. Apart from that, well, I've got a puppy here that's a bit exhausted. She's had a strange week. I went for a walk last week on Dartmoor, which was, I think, put up on Instagram and various other places. And when I got back, she ate my candle and the metal lantern that went around it. They're currently in bits in my kitchen, wondering if I can ever get the aluminium back to the correct shape and what I can do about replacing the base bit. Since then, her bowels have been a bit disordered. But as you can see from these videos, she's still quite happy and bouncy. There's no peace for people like me. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Yeah.